Good day, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to Team Fortress 2, and today, going to be playing as the soldier using the rocket launcher, the conqueror, or the conqueror, however you wish to pronounce it, and the market gardener, which I do actually get a legitimate kill with later on towards the end of the gameplay. But for now, we are pretty much in the early stages of the game. You can see we have about 12 minutes left to defend, but I'm not going to show the entirety of those 12 minutes, just mostly the interesting parts of the gameplay. But what I wanted to talk about in this video today is End of the Line, and in case you don't know what End of the Line is a source filmmaker animation that a guy named James McVie is creating, and Valve decided to work with him to make an update out of it. So yeah, we're getting a new content update. But to update those who are informed about the End of the Line, TheUnknownVenom today, or a couple of hours ago, uploaded a video regarding an update from James McVie on this End of the Line community update. Update of the update, if you know what I mean. And here are the notes. The End of the Line animation was bumped from 8 minutes to about 14 minutes in length currently, and it could be about 17 minutes when it's complete. Second, a new map prototype is being tested, and third, new weapons. We're actually getting new weapons in this game, guys. This is absolutely amazing. Right now, they're only in the early stages of development though, and they do not actually have proper stats yet, but come on, guys, new weapons! We've been looking forward to this for quite some time now. We haven't seen any new weapons since the end of 2012, and that's quite a couple months ago, if you really can't figure out how to do the math. But, when I saw the length of the animation, what really got me thinking was the fact that the animation was originally going to be only 8 minutes long. And the reason this got me thinking is because back in January 2013, Valve announced that they were working on about a 15-minute short for Team Fortress 2 that was going to be animated in Source Filmmaker, and yeah, we were expected to see it sometime in the future. It wasn't really announced when it was going to be done. We were just told they were working on it, and I kinda had this theory, because since we haven't had any news on that just yet, I have this really far-fetched theory right here, that Valve is actually working with McVie to make the End of the Line video the 15-minute animated film they once said they were working on. And the only reason I really see this theory actually crumble apart is because if you remember Meet the Medic and Meet the Pyro, do you remember how long it took for them to actually make those? Because they put a lot of effort and time into making those, like, some of the coolest animations ever. And while I can't say Meet the Pyro was, like, the pinnacle of all animations, it was still really cool to see it come out back in 2012. But perhaps they've really just pushed the TF2 film to the side for the time being, so that way they can complete the End of the Line video, which, I don't know, I guess that's probably a bit more likely than the End of the Line actually being the TF2 film they said they were going to release, but look, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. If you have a different theory that's more interesting than mine, then by all means, go ahead and share it. And so, now we're going to actually talk a bit about the gameplay, and this medic actually Ubers me right here, and I try to get into this melee fight with Vintage Hat Devilman, but I think he eventually gave up because I was Ubered. But the gameplay itself, it's happening on Dustbowl, which is a map which I really do not like that very much, and the reason for that is, well, I actually have like maybe 2 reasons for that. I haven't played Dustbowl in months, and it just really isn't that good of a map. And the reason for that is there are so many choke points on each of the stages of Dustbowl. It's really annoying to play on the blue team trying to push through these objectives. You really need to have a coordinated team. And somehow I think that the older TF2 maps like Dustbowl would function a lot more accordingly if everybody just had stock loadouts and we didn't have crazy things like the Conqueror or like the Crits Creek or things like that. That's just a bit of a theory. But also because of engineers. Engineers on Dustbowl, it usually happens like this. On the first stage of Dustbowl, there's usually like maybe 1 or 2 big sentry engineers, And if you lose the first stage of Dustbowl and you move on to the second stage, then the number of engineers kind of increases just a little bit, maybe up to like, I don't know, 3 or 4. And I just hate that so much. Engineers, they really slow down the progress of games, and I'm sure you've all heard of the impenetrable Dustbowl defense, which is just like 5 or 6 engineers, all with big sentries, and they all have them like strategically placed. It's just not fun to deal with. Let's be honest about that. But the good thing about this gameplay in particular was, one, I really do enjoy defending Stage 2. Stage 2 is probably my favorite area to defend. I can't say I have a favorite map to play on offense, or favorite stage, I should say. But I do enjoy defending. I think defending is probably the best thing about Dustbowl, which is kind of odd because usually I like to play on offense when it comes to payload or control point maps. Second, in this match in particular, we only had one engineer. And to top things off, it was actually a mini-sentry engineer. And the reason why I think this is better is because, well, let me put it like this. I think the common mentality with Dustbowl is that if the number of engineers is like equal to or greater than 3, then the more motivation blue team has to wreck all that shit up and just destroy it so that way you can push for the final point. Like, that's a bit of a really odd theory if you ask me. But I think the fact that we had a lot more power classes sort of makes sense as to why we ended up winning in the end. And, you know, spoiler alert, we win, thankfully, and we didn't really need that many engineers. We just needed one who was using the gunslinger. Storming this tunnel, managed to take out that level 1 sentry and that teleporter. And watch right here, watch this heavy, who's like preparing to make a push. Medic hits him like 3 times, and he just couldn't do anything about that. Check on the medic's health, he has full health. That heavy did not get a single bullet off of him, and the medic has full uber again. That was hilarious. There were a lot of funny things that happened in this gameplay, and I'm quite glad that I recorded it. So for the rest of the game, I actually die here. Like, this is probably my second death in the entire game, but yeah. Sudden surprise Demo Man gets me. Now we're just down to about 2 minutes left. Checking around this area, I see this medic right here, and I don't pay much attention to that because I see Vintage Hat Demo Man trying to give me a melee battle, but unfortunately he dies to an engineer, and yeah, that didn't exactly work out in his favor. But I noticed something odd, so I go up here. There's not really much happening in these backfields. Now I walk over to this door, and everyone's just kind of having this little party right here, this little gate party. Now, watch what happens. A Gibbous Pyro opens the door, and chaos just ensues. This was one of the funniest moments. Get a random crit right into that doorway, blow the Conjurer, and then suddenly, the soldier walks out, and then the heavy opens the door, but I get Ubered. And I could have sworn at the time there were like 3 heavies focusing on me in this tunnel. It looks like there were only 2, but at the time, I really thought there were 3 heavies in there. That was the funniest thing ever. So now we only have 1 minute left. That interval passed, and we just have to hold this area off. It looked like blue was actually making a pretty good push right here, but I get a couple of really lucky crits right here, just on their teammates, and yeah, it kind of ruined their day. Soldier almost hits me with that crit, but then I get another crit, kill 2 people with that, and then I just go back to heal up at the dispenser, and we pretty much go through the same routine as we pretty much have been this entire gameplay. I cut out most of the uninteresting parts, as I'm sure I've mentioned already. Medic gets panned in the back. That was kind of silly of him. And now we are just down to 30 seconds. Pyro blows up right in front of me. Bad Minecrafter. I think I dominated that guy twice. That was like the second domination right there. Then an ubered phlogistonary Pyro goes in to where the people were kind of storming out of the gate. And this is around the point where I actually get my legitimate Market Gardener kill, which I'm pretty proud of. That is so satisfying, just getting that critical hit on that person. That was amazing, in my opinion. But that's going to wrap up the gameplay. Top scored, managed to get a lot of dominations. This was a really good round. And that's pretty much going to be the end of things. So thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day or evening. Let me know what you think about the end of the line update. And I guess I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.